Oh, I think oh, yo, something looks, hold on. I think something, oh, that's crazy. Oh, I didn't know I left that over there. Let me just go reach over and get it. Let me just reach and get it. Oh, I didn't know my drink was right there. Alright, let me stop playing with y'all. What's going on, beautiful people? Let me get to it. Alright, top surgery recovery. How I recovered and the products that I used and how I used them and how long it took me to do a certain thing and yada yada yada. I got you with the hookups right now. Alright? And I just want to start off by saying, as always, as a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. No way, shape, or form have I took any lesson, any practice, and anything in those regards in this area or field of studies. Also, top surgery results, they vary to like so many different factors. There's so many reasons to why my scars look the way they do versus another person's, versus another person's, versus another person's, etc., etc. So be mindful of that. Also be mindful of part of those factors. I'm very young, so the skin that I have, the skin elasticity that is a lot, it's immature, you know, so it helped a lot when it came to healing, as well as the fact that I'm very active. So that also helped with sculpting the chest, and yeah, so be mindful of that. Also be mindful of the fact that I am a person of color, so typically people of color have more of it's like a pigment. Just know that when you have a darker skin tone, the pigment when it comes to healing will not look as, I guess you could say, desirable on in some respect, because you have, I forget like the reasoning behind it, but just know you have like a higher risk of getting certain things. So yeah, be mindful of that. So again, I'm very blessed, very lucky, very happy with my results, and they vary per person. Yeah, so let me just, because I wrote some notes down so I can remember. There was a lot of things. But starting off, I believe well, you're like dormant for like a grip. I would say do not do nothing for a long time, like a month or so. I wouldn't recommend you doing anything. I was just chilling on that bed doing nothing. Healing is number one. Rest up. If you need to take the meds, take the meds, but limit everything. Your body is gonna limit you regardless, but like you need to mentally prepare for that and understand that. But when I was, I believe, 6 weeks out, I began using the silicone strips. I used Silogen. That is the brand that my doctor recommended. So when I was purchasing, LOL, like you could just purchase some removing of the titties. Anyways, when I was doing that whole stuff with my insurance and stuff, he recommended the Silogen. So then I got the Silogen through his office, and I believe I had two. It was like a 2-for-1 deal, so I had 2 bottles of it. Cans, plastic cylinders. So I had 2 of them. Really good. They last like a while. I never bought any more after those 2 strips that they gave me. I used that for my entire time. So I pretty much owe everything to me being militant in being restful, as well as using those Silogen strips as appropriately as he had recommended me to use them. Usually people will massage their scars, or they'll put some other products. I simply listened to his advice, and he had said that there's no need to massage it. The Silogen strips, they practically do all the motions that need to be done for a nice recovery. And I listened to, as much as I didn't want to listen to him word for word, I did, because it's doctor over random people on the internet doing the recommendations. So also be mindful of that. If your doctor says other things, I would say listen to your doctor, because then they're the ones that are liable for the results more than, random people on the internet. So mindfulness is key. My doctor also didn't use drains. I believe that's his go-to, is not to use drains unless it's really needed. So, because I know some people were asking me about, oh, how did the drains feel when they were taken out? I didn't have drains. One of my friends just went to Dr. Barlett. He also didn't have drains. So I believe that's just like the go-to, which is the absence of drains in their surgeries. I also had double incision, which is also double mastectomy, which is also known as female to male gender reassignment chest surgery. So you can use these names interchangeably, I believe, but that is the surgery I used. I didn't do the I didn't do keyhole, which is basically the removal of the nipples, and then they pulled the breast tissue out. I had the double incision, so I had the 2 scars, 1, 2 going across my chest, based on the anatomy that was best fit for me, which typically costs more and is a lot more of a complicated surgery. But I believe, from what I hear from other people, it's known to be the most diligent one, because it really gets all the tissue out with keyhole. You're pulling it out of a hole, hence the name. So there's known to be people that have been left with some tissue residue and stuff like that, so they might get a revision done later in life. But it's all depending on what is your breast size and what your surgeon recommends for you. What else? Also, take care of your nipples. I would use like a cotton swab and the bacitracin that they gave me, like kind of like a goodie bag of different items to really take care of myself. So I took the bacitracin, rub it on a little bit. They gave me, what's it, like the little cloth things? I forget what it's called, but it's like a cloth pad. You put it on, put that little binder that they give you. It's like a surgical binder, nothing like the real ones that we be using, but something like that, and called it a night. And then once I had to stop using that stuff, I went to the scars, the silicone strips, and that was all good. Also, I just want to emphasize on taking things slow. I know it sucks. You're gonna be chilling in the bed, watching Netflix or Hulu, whatever it is, probably me on YouTube too. But you gotta take it slow. I didn't want to listen, but your body is literally telling you to chill out. And also, if you want the best results, you have to optimize the fact that you can sleep for a grip and just watch your Netflix, chill out. It's COVID, especially if you're, I don't know if surgeries are happening, but if they are, this is the best time. You ain't gotta do nothing, And it's not like you can do anything anyways. When I had mine done, it was in the summer of last year, and mind you, I'm young. So when I went back to work after 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks or so. Probably shouldn't have. So if I didn't, I could say my chest probably would have looked 2, 3, 5, 10% a little bit better than it does now. So it's those little tiny moments you gotta take into account and how it will affect you in the future. It's always better safe than sorry. I'm young, so some things don't jump to me immediately like that, and I would have kids unknowingly of my surgery and things like that, because I act as a supervisor in the summer, and they would just guys or whatever just hit me in the chest, it's cool, laugh, and then in my head I'm thinking, yo, my chest, my pec is about to be inverted. Luckily it wasn't, but it's those little things. So definitely take your time. I can't even stress it enough. You're talking about chilling out for preserving your body, yourself, for, let's say, 6 months straight for a result that lasts you for your entire life. I don't know about you, but that's it. Y'all ever go couponing? Because that's a deal. That's a steal, you know? So, again, mindfulness. I'm gonna, like, ingrain this in y'all's head. We have to treat this surgery seriously because, one, your surgeon is, well, depending on the surgery that you get, one, your surgeon is removing your nipples. They're removing your nipples, your nipple graft. And then they're also cutting you open, removing the breast tissue, right? So we already removed a couple pieces from your body. And then they're pulling down the excess skin from your, like, upper chest area, pulling that down and sewing it up as if it's brand new, and then stitching up your nipple, and then you're begging your body to regain its nerve responses. Like, the amount of active trauma that we're doing in this process is pretty great. So the least you can do is take your time. Say it with me, people. Take your time. Treat this seriously. So sorry. I'm also considering and doing a video on, like, gradual stretches and workouts that you can do after top surgery, because I remember since I was in that dormant state for so much, I didn't, like, teach myself to, like, really move and do things. Like, I didn't use the ranges of motions at all. So, like, when it was like 3 months out, 4 months out, I was still restricted the same amount of motions when my surgeon had said, yeah, you can definitely do that, or even attempt to do this. So if you guys, I feel like if you guys were given, like, some type of guideline, again, not a doctor, but, like, my ideas and what worked for me, then I think it would help you guys out to really feel the waters, test the waters, and when you can really extend your arms all the way up, and you know, the timeline stuff. Yeah, I hope you guys like that, and look out for the new merch that should be coming soon. Whenever y'all stop playing with my feelings and get me to that 60K, and then, let's talk to y'all later. Deuces.